I want to give you an update really where we're at. I think that it's always interesting because we're always trying to, and I think you should do this in your business. Actually, I know you should do this in your business that will let you scale your business profitably and effectively, is how can I get better? And us as an entity, we're always trying to do that, right? I think that's called accountability. We're imperfect people, dealing with imperfect people. You go, I think I'm perfect. Okay, well, you better find the perfect island because, we imperfect people, we do the best we can every day. And I think that for us, when you look at Family First Life and look at the volume, right, we just came off our best month ever last month. But what's most excited about is the percentage of the IUL volume and what people are doing to make sure that we can put as much coverage in place as we can and be as important as we can to these families on multiple levels, right? So when you look at what we're doing on the IUL side, mortgage side, final expense, and fixed index annuity side, it's been unbelievable for not just the client, because that's obviously who we have to be great for, but also for the agent. And when you look at the premium, you look at persistency. The Index Universal Life is such an amazing product, but it's also got such amazing persistency where you're watching what people are doing. And I think if there are companies out there, and we've recruited a lot of people this past week, so a lot of people that are selling IULs don't have leads. So they're reaching out going, hey, you guys do a lot of Index Universal Life business. We're like, yeah, we do a ton of it. And then I'm like, okay, so we do a ton of the business. And then it's like, all right, well, you know what? We have leads. And they're like, okay, well, we've never worked leads. So we show them, right? And warm market's phenomenal. I started my business selling leads. You gave me leads. I was selling clients that were leads. I was all cold market. And I'd morphed into more warm market business as we were moving forward. But a lot of what I sold right off the bat was just leads. So we have a lot of people who are like, man, I didn't know Family First Life did that. And it kind of was like, broke my heart, God, we should, why would we ever not want to be involved in all the products that we can put in place, right, and make sure we're benefiting these clients? So for me, we're really excited about that. We're really excited about the growth of the company, right? We've been able to continue to grow, and that's one of the things. If you look at the company over 10 plus years, the amount of, the growth month over month over month, there's like a handful of times in 10 years in a given month we didn't grow. And now when you look at how we're growing and with the percentage of business and what we're doing from our product mix, oh my God, it's really ridiculous in a very good way, right? So it's putting us in a position to really scale. And you're looking at what's happening around the country as far as not just the leads or recruiting. When I got in this business, it was 2008. And, I was in real estate forever. People are like, you got a real estate because the market crashed? No, I was still in real estate. But my real estate was like passive cash flow, and I was looking to do something more active, and I wanted to build a business that was much bigger than what I built in the real estate business. And here in 2024, I'm not going to preach to anybody or act like the sky's falling, but you look at inflation, look at the cost of goods, you look at what it costs an average family to survive, and you look at what the average family has at hand monetarily liquid, it's scary. And I think this has probably been the best place we've ever been in to recruit, which again, I'm not asking for all these things. I wish people didn't have to work so hard to make ends meet, but the reality is they do. So I think we're really excited about where we're going there, really excited about what we're doing for families. Really, when you start looking at the other day, the number that really humbled me was the death benefit we have in place. And that's a really humbling number when it's like, oh my God, the death benefit that's in place. That's crazy. Look how much coverage we put in place all over America. And when you look at how big a distributor we are of life insurance, we've done things that are going to affect generation after generation after generation. So you're in this business, and I think a big part of this is mindset. Mike Sizer asked me the other day, he said to me, when you got started, what did you think about when it came to leads? You had been in real estate and the leads weren't really that good. I was like, no, where I worked, it was just names that people Googled anything and I called them, but I still felt like I would be good, and I booked a lot of appointments. And I felt like I'd be good because I felt like it didn't require any talent. And that's the same thing here. Now, can I tell you who's going to be good? I don't. One of the things I do is I recruit everybody because I don't know who's going to be good, right? But what I wanted people to know is they have the right to build something too. They have the right to go make sales. They have the right to have the best products. We have the best products. We have great carriers. We've worked really hard to build those relationships for a very, very, very long time. So for us, that's put us in a position where we get to take this thing to the next level. We've worked really hard to have the lead gen we have. We worked really hard to have the recruiting platform we have. We worked really hard to do everything we're doing on the marketing side. But what you have to do, it's a mindset thing. And I think for me is where you walk in a room and you kind of look around and see who says what, who does what, who's involved with what. And you kind of look around and figure out, you know what? You can tell that guy believes in himself. You can tell that girl does not believe in herself. You can tell that guy really believes. You can tell that guy's trying to figure out if he does believe in himself. That guy believes he can make sales. He doesn't believe he can go ahead and recruit people. Why did I start recruiting people? Because I wanted them to make money. I started recruiting people from day one because I wanted them to make money. I did not start recruiting people based on what I thought my override was, how many circles we filled, what the spread was. That was not a concern of mine. What my concern was, I got friends and family that I know need to make extra money, and I can help them make extra money. Period. End of story. Nothing more, nothing less. And that was exciting to me. And I think that put me in a position where I knew I could go ahead and take this thing to the next level. So you have to ask yourself, what motivates you and what drives? Number one, do you believe? Number one today, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you can have the result you want? Before that, what result do you want? Do you believe you can achieve that result? What will you need to do to achieve that result? This one's really important. What is stopping you from having that result? I was able to answer those questions early on. Do you believe you should build a business? Do you believe people will follow you? What are they looking for when they follow you? Are you asking them to do something you're not willing to do? We talked about that earlier too today. Like, are you doing the things you're asking them to do? Making dials, recruiting. Did you make sales? Are you making sales? Like, what are you doing to lead the way? And I think that's one of the things that's humbling. You know, when you're a parent, you're a teacher, you're a coach, when you're doing those things, you give up your right to be average and ordinary. Like that right to average, that's gone. Like you give up your right to be average and ordinary. It's out the window because people are relying on you. They're relying on your instruction. They're relying on your leadership. They're relying on your productivity. And also you can't confuse activity with profitability. Are the things you're doing on a given day in your business, are they profitable? Are they leading you to profitability? You go, they may not be profitable. Do you believe if you continue to do those things over and over again, you're going to be profitable? And how long a chance do you give those things? Well, it depends on what they are. Yeah, I bought leads for 4 days. Well, you might want to go more than 4 days. I mean, you may not have success in 4 days. I'm not mad at you, but you're really going to have to go to work. It's one of those things where you have to put that into perspective. But I think it's really after 15 years in this business and 10 plus running Family First Life, the one thing I'm sure of is we can control our attitude and activity. I've not found anything else we can control. Nothing. And we control those things. No matter what's going on, I can control this. No matter what's going on, I can control my work ethic. Those are two things that are 100% within my control. And the reality is, once you know that, you have to figure out what are you going to do about it. Now, a lot of people act like they're not in their control because they don't want to do the work or they don't want a good attitude. By the way, you're going to find more people to talk to if you're negative. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking to take the path of least resistance and go, and no matter what it is in life, whether it's the situation you live in, the weather, you know, if you live in an apartment complex and there's one issue with the property, like every once in a while, hey, you want to find the people who complain about it? Go down the hall, go to room 12. They're all in there. Actually, it's full. But if you want to hang out and go like, you know what, dude, life's pretty good. Like, we're alive and we're healthy and like life's pretty good. Let's go to room 1 over here. And you're like, oh, there's nobody in here. I know, because the rest of them want to be negative, you know? And I think for me, staying positive has been simple. And it's sad because people, they want a different answer. Like, let's look at your business right now. And this is what I'll spend the rest of my time talking about today. Goals for me are non-negotiable. If you look in the book I use on a daily basis, go through it, I have my goals written out. When you look, if you had worked with me, Mike Sizer, 15 years ago, my calendar for the entire year had the days I ran appointments, the days I dialed, and the days I ran appointments for an entire year. I wrote this in my book. If I had something to do with my daughter on one of those days, I couldn't do it. I just picked another day that week to make sure I had those days taken care of. But every single week, the entire year, I did what I needed to do. I had my recruiting time blocked out, my dialing time for sales blocked out. I had everything blocked out, and my schedule was non-negotiable. I was a really good employer to myself. So you have to ask yourself, well, what are your goals? And a lot of people, you ask them, they change on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Last month their goal was this month their goal is this, next month their goal is this. Like, it's really weird. Like, it doesn't work that way. You have to make sure your goals are completely non-negotiable. And that's one of those things that when you start doing that, everything in the world changes. Right? Like, literally everything changes when you can buy into your goals. Because what happens when you buy into your goals is people are watching. And by the way, it's the stuff that you do that nobody sees that will allow your success or what will torpedo it. Right? You have to decide what those things are. And that's another thing that, you know, I don't ask people to do that I'm not willing to do. There are a lot of folks that will ask you for your goals. They don't have any. They go, my goals for my agents. I'm like, what are your goals? What do you mean? What are your goals? Well, the agency, no, I got that part. What are your goals? What are you doing for recruiting? Are you selling? Are you not? What are your recruiting goals? What are you doing for marketing? What are you doing for the agents that you're working with, the ones that you derive and override from? Like, what are you doing with them? And I think, when you start living that way, it becomes so intentional. Like, it becomes so ridiculously intentional that you about can't stand yourself, right? And then what happens when you become intentional, then it becomes habitual, right? It's a habit. And then it kind of becomes methodical because you start doing it all the time. Then people are like, man, then I get bored. I'm like, not me, dude. If I'm methodically profitable for my family, I'm not bored with that. I'm never bored with methodical profitability, like never in my life. And so at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you have to make that decision about what your goals are and what you're going to do about it. I wasn't just writing a numbers. You're going to issue this much, Shawn. You're going to work these days, every week, cross them out. What that did for me was don't schedule anything. Those are your work days. Schedule around that. Those are your work days. Every time I did a dial day, I ran appointments. At the end of the day, I crossed out my book. I like to feel successful. I like to feel accomplished. Most of us do. It tends to lead to good habits. It tends to lead to success. It tends to make sure that we don't get distracted. And I treated that book like it was my time card at any W-2 job I had. When I worked at United Parcel Service, I only was able to be tardy and or absent from work X amount of times before I got fired. I understood it. My time clock, my time card. I mean, dude, I didn't want to miss, so I knew what time I had to be there. Most time I was in the parking lot well before shift started because I didn't want to miss it. I don't want to be late. I created my own time card. Do you have a time card? Do you punch it? Time to punch that time card, man. Like that's how I was raised, watching people work really hard. So when I became an independent contractor, it was just my favorite job. It wasn't my favorite activity. It wasn't my favorite delusion. It was my favorite job. This is my favorite job right now, the one I have for myself. I was a hard boss on myself, but you know what? I love what I'm doing. And I didn't have to answer to somebody that wasn't doing it. I didn't have to answer anybody else. And I think as an independent adult, that's what I was always seeking. What can I do to set myself apart? So as you sit here today, halfway through the year, the good news is what you have or haven't done doesn't matter. Within reason. I mean, I'm happy. If it's gone great, that's awesome for you. If it's not gone well, so be it. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you have to decide, what are you going to do the rest of the year? Like, what are you going to do about it? It's been unbelievably good, Shawn. This is how great it's been. Awesome. Cool. What are you going to do to continue it? It's been disgustingly bad, man. Okay, got it. What are you going to do about it? It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. What are you going to do right now? I was reading this book one day. They ended up becoming a movie. And these guys they're in Somalia, I think. And they've been fighting. It's military, the Marines, they're army, and the young man is like, I don't want to go back out there. And the guy looks him in the eyes. I'm reading his book, and he says, everybody feels the same way you do. He said, the question isn't how do you feel or what's already happened. The question is, what are you going to do? Like, I hear you. Guy's like, dude, he's not going like, what's wrong with you? He's like, no, I hear you. Like, I understand that. But the question isn't how you felt over the last minute, 10, 12, or 48 minutes. What are you going to do right now? We're leaving to go back out there. Are you coming with us? And I share that for two reasons. Number one, it makes a lot of sense to me. Number two, it gives me a lot of perspective. Because there are people making decisions where it can cost them their legitimate life. Like their job is they're getting into a vehicle, armed, seeking out this conflict or defense, going into hostile territory where they can die. They can literally lose their lives. And they're also doing it for people. I mean, they've not met. I've not met them, and they're fighting to keep my country free, right? I share that to say that gives me the perspective. So whatever I'm going through at a moment's notice, and it seems like it's bad, and it seems like it's painful, and it seems like it sucks, guess what? It's perspective. What's the worst thing that happens? I didn't make my dials yesterday. Okay. My leads didn't come in on time. 2 people canceled. My recruit, these 3 guys didn't. If you can always keep yourself grounded with appropriate perspective and you always keep yourself focused on what you need to do next, the whole world changes. Like it literally, the entire world changes. So I really hope this helps. I hope you make it a phenomenal second half of the year. I hope you're an amazing boss to yourself. Keep yourself accountable. Keep focused on your goals. Keep focused on what you control, your attitude, your activity. But if you're not where you want to be, or you are where you want to be, what if you just give this thing everything you got for the rest of this year? 6-month run, change your life. Whatever that happens to be, whatever you're looking to accomplish in your life, what if you just gave it everything you have literally and never let up? Wouldn't that be amazing for what you're looking to accomplish? So I appreciate y'all. I'm thankful for y'all. Be thankful for yourselves, and don't be so hard on yourselves. You can be a good boss to yourself, but not be so hard on yourself. And once something's in the past, appointments, schedule, clients, there's nothing you can do about it. Just keep moving forward. Stay present. Have great goals. Stay focused. And anybody has the ability to work hard and have a good attitude. When people go, I think anybody has the ability to work hard and have a good attitude. And in a business that doesn't require talent, that puts you in a position to be successful. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for all you do. I'll see you at meetings across country, producer cruise. Get registered for annual convention, please. I know Mike was talking about that. You don't want to miss out. You do not. We will be sold out. There's zero chance that that's not going to happen. And we want to make sure you're there and you're getting the benefit of being there around all those amazing people. And you're amazing as well. So you bring amazingness to the event as well. So I appreciate y'all. Have a great day.